What's good, whoever that is, waiting. Love and respect. Yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna go live tonight, so sorry I didn't give y'all the warning. Should I just looked up at the time and seen that I needed to check in. Hmm. Good evening. What's going on, Luana? How are you? The only thing I don't like about going live on my phone, though it makes things a lot easier, is I don't think I can type back to you guys because I'm on my phone. So a lot of times I like to put stuff in the comment section, and I can't when I do this on the phone. So, Jewels, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Said on set with it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Starting this thing off right. Um, Luana says I'm having trouble dating. Well, Luana, not to upsell you here, but if you're having trouble dating and you think that it's a very specific experience you're having, specific to you anyway, book a call. Man, I don't feel like very many, if any, people come away from my calls feeling like they wasted their money. And so if you really need the help, you really need the one on one, book a call. I promise you, it will be worth your while. And I don't have half hours listed, but I do have hours. And so if you write me on Instagram and say, "Hey, listen, it's not listed, but I need a half hour," we could work that out. Some people have money issues. I don't know what your issue is or if you have an issue at all, but if it's an affordability issue, I'm flexible with people. I just want to help people. So reach out to me on Instagram, kevhick24. Um, if you reach out to me on Facebook, I'll probably see it last. So do the kevhick24 thing on Instagram. That's the easiest way to talk to me. Or hit me in the comment section. I'll hit you back. But get a call because a lot of times what you're experiencing is unique to you, and you need somebody to figure out how particular these videos are addressing your situation. Sometimes it's not about you; it's some general stuff that you're trying to apply to your life, and that creates more issues. General advice in very specific situations. So I love to help you though. Reach out to me, Luana. We can work something out. How do you feel about an age gap in relationships? He's 54, I'm 42. I don't feel very much about that at all. You're 42. Any woman over 40, she can date an 89-year-old for all I give a damn. Not because you're over 40 and you're over the hill or any of those stereotypes you might have applied to that. But the fact that you're over 40, you have a plethora of experience, you know who you are, you have a personal authority that you probably take with you everywhere you go. You have wisdom to make great decisions. You can't be manipulated by an older person. So he's 54, you're 42. I don't think anything's wrong with that. Now, if he was 54 and you were 22, I think it was a little bit um, predatorial, not in a sexual way, but in just the maturity, and that would be a problem. But a 42-year-old woman knows exactly what she is and what she's doing and what she wants. So continue as you were. Empathetic, calm. A guy I was getting to know disappeared. He left social media and changed his number. What do you think? Very suspect. Yeah, he probably just is sick of people. He probably got some stuff going on. He could have bill collectors or stalkers after him. If he's doing all of that. Oh, get the likes up. If you in here, there's 50 people in here, I should have some more likes than this. I'm again experiment with what YouTube does with my likes if they're up high. So please just hit the like button. You can unlike the video after we're done. Um, but yeah, if he left social media and changed his number and disappeared, the likelihood is he got some other bigger issues than trying to escape you. Unless you're like a stalker type, I wouldn't know. Um, but I wouldn't take that personal. It sounds like he wants to escape the world. That sounds like a mental health or emotional health phase that he might be going through. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm very antisocial. If I give a lot of myself, I can do about 3 weeks of giving the world my best, and then after that, I need like a 7 day leave me the hell alone type of break. Um, I'm an introvert through and through. So I understand when people just want to disappear and get away. If I wasn't a man with a family, I would probably disappear for longer periods of time without warning. But I can't because I have a family, and I wouldn't want to disappear from them, just the world. Um, Amina, hi Kev. I don't answer guys' call. If I don't answer a guy's call and he keeps calling me after the third time of me not responding, is he's still calling and texting? Do you think he really likes me, or is that a red flag? He's persistent. And I'll be honest, the first lesson I was taught by older men and women when I was younger was that a woman likes persistence. And I was always given examples about a man who was unattractive and not the type of guy that a woman wanted, ultimately getting the girl because he persisted. But in adulthood, you learn that that's just not respecting a person's boundaries, right? But this is what women taught me when I was coming up. Oh, just be persistent, just be persistent. I don't know if they thought I would be ugly, or I don't know why they were telling me that I needed to be so persistent, because I've never had to work that damn hard for the attention of women that I liked. But to that point, a lot of men do learn that persistence is key, and they learn that it makes a woman feel, desired and chased and all of these different things. And so, one woman might really like that persistence. Another woman might feel threatened by it and be, afraid of those men because of that. I don't know what your limits are, but for me, it's a red flag. I like to deal with people. I deal with people exclusively who respect me. So I don't. If a woman doesn't desire me, I don't want to desire her. She doesn't exist. If you don't want me, I don't want you. If it's F me, then it's F you. That's how I am. I think any self-respecting person requires respect, and they offer their respect in exchange for respect. So it's a red flag because you're not necessarily respecting him, and he's still coming. When I was dating, a woman had 2 times to ignore me or not respond to me. It could have been one call, one text. It could have been 2 texts. It could have been 2 calls. Hell, it could have been a Black Planet message or a MySpace message in a text. I don't give a damn. You had 2 times to miss my correspondence before you didn't exist in my head. And I think any self-respecting person has a limit. He doesn't seem to have one at the moment. I think it's a red flag of his self-esteem, or maybe he just likes to chase. But if a man likes to chase that much, then what will he do when he catch you? He'll go chase something else. He lacks balance, and so I wouldn't necessarily be impressed by that if I was a woman. But hey, to each his own. But I don't know the gentleman. Maybe he's a nice guy who just thinks that persistence wins, and that could be right. So I don't know if it's a mindset issue or if it's a misprogramming of sorts. I hope that helps. But I don't know. Again, if you need a call, kevhick.com, kevhick.com is the best methodology to get more specific, particular advice from me about your situation. How you doing, Nicola? Nicole, I'm sorry, Nicola. How you doing, Nicole? She said, thank you for your time, Mr. Kev. So chasing a woman is a red flag? No, not chasing a woman, but I think there's a difference between pursuing a woman, right? And I want to say pursuing. Chasing a woman is a red flag. I don't think anybody should be chasing. A woman shouldn't be chasing a man shouldn't be chasing a woman. Pursuing a woman and being persistent is I think that's different than not being self-respecting. And I think if a woman's ignoring you, that's you're chasing at that moment because she's running. She's not retreating, she's just letting you come to her. That's pursuing. Like if you call a woman every day or you call a woman 3 times a week and she answers those calls or she returns those calls, but you always initiate, that's pursuing. If you call a woman 4 times in a row and she doesn't pick up the phone and you call 4 more times, that's chasing. One of those requires a lack of self respect, and it's not the one where the woman actually picks the phone up or returns the correspondence. So, no, a man should not chase a woman. He should pursue her, and in kind, she should reciprocate and be receptive to what she gets from him, and also show that it's okay for him to persist by giving him enough breadcrumbs of acceptance, of answered phone calls, of text messages answered, of stimulating conversation back. She should be doing something as well, If he wants to leave, if he wants to pursue, she should be leaving him enough of a trail that it leaves him some self-respect. That woman just ignoring that man's calls, it just shows me he doesn't have enough respect for himself to be taken serious. I don't know what he expects to get when he catches her, but more resistance. Um, I'm getting stuck on a few good dates, and everything falls apart. Why? Work or lifestyle? That depends. Write me on Instagram. If you kevhick24 on Instagram, give me more details about what you're going through. Now, don't give me a whole bunch. If you need a call, book a call, kevhick.com. But if you just give me a couple more details so I can answer your question responsibly. It could be a lot of different things, and anybody could guess. My guess would be good as anybody in this comment section if I just took the limited information you gave me. But kevhick24, write me Randall, and we'll go from there. I can probably get to the bottom of it pretty quickly. I ignore because he calls once a week. Then he gets mad. Why ignore? Okay. He's not persistent. If he's not persistent and he's just randomly calling you randomly, I don't know. See, now I'm confused. Like, give me like a paragraph or two paragraphs detail. Write me a kevvick24 on Instagram to see if you can make more sense of it out of more make more sense of out it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Write me and let me know what's going on. Um, I believe a man doesn't value a woman if he doesn't have time for her. For example, if it's always been 2 months and I haven't heard from him, is that a red flag? Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, and I don't think it's not about valuing, right? So a gentleman can value relationships in general or partnership in general or any particular woman. Sometimes a man won't start something that he can't finish, right? I've had that dilemma where, like, when I was dating, be a woman I was really interested in, but I just had too much stuff going on, and I didn't want to half-ass create some damage in our relationship, mess up, irritate her, and then I'm disqualified when I could have just had my shit together, had my time under me, been able to give her everything that I could give her or attempt to anyway, have space and time and bandwidth for her emotionally, and then show up better. Right. So sometimes men are just they don't have the capacity and they don't want to start something they can't finish. Um, so there's that. Sometimes you meet people in the wrong phase of life. But to your point, if a man does have time, if he's still on Bumble, if he's active, if his green light is always on, he's still chasing, still looking, still pursuing whatever he's doing, and he's only hitting you every now and then yeah, I feel like to your point, he's just not excited enough about you, so that is a red flag. Good evening, Kev. Thanks for all you do. Where do you suggest women should frolic to find men working in their purpose? Also, are you still going to do the financial literacy assistance? I'm with the financial stuff, I'm still looking for the right company. So I had a company and it was looking good, but then their restrictions would cause me to I basically was like I couldn't do social media, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. They didn't want me to moonlight, couldn't help my clients. They would like be trying to figure out if they was watching my money to figure out if I was making more money from like coaching people. I'm not going to stop coaching. I'm not going to leave my clients. Like I'm some of that stuff is so strict that you have to find the right company for you. So, and again, it wasn't going to be assistance; it was going to be just full-fledged financial services licensed. And so it wasn't going to be like me doing dating advice or relationship advice or anything like that. There's enough people on YouTube doing YouTube advice. It was going to be me setting up accounts for people, but I haven't chosen the company yet because that company fell through. Uh, so it's still on my mind. It's still on my radar, but at the moment, no, not at the moment. But I have my list. If you're on my list, as soon as I get into it, I'll let you know. And I appreciate you for being on my list too. Hi, what does it mean if he answer questions detail and initiates conversation, but doesn't ask me anything back? It could mean that he's not the best conversationalist. He's not always aware, and if he's anything like I used to be, he gets so hung up on trying to qualify himself, or he likes to hear himself talk, or he's really passionate about what he's being asked about, that he gets caught up in his answer and doesn't necessarily give you space or time to answer your questions. When I was 16, 17, and I was on these dates, and start driving, 17, 18. I'd be on these dates and I realized at the end of the date, I talked my ass off and I didn't really ask them about themselves that much. And for the first date, it always worked out. Second date, they'd be like, okay, he's not really asking me much about myself. Maybe he's just into himself. I really be interested in them, but as a young man, not realizing that I don't need to qualify myself with every single answer about how great I am. I'm not trying to impress them with every single answer. And that's a phase we all go through as we learn how to, deal with the opposite sex. Phase I went through was first being a nice guy, realizing, okay, that's not my thing, that's not my lane. Talking too much on dates, talking too much about myself, feeling like I'm telling them how great I am, when really I'm just not getting enough information or exciting them about the conversation because I'm not asking them, I'm not giving them a chance to be passionate about whatever they want to be passionate about. So conversationally, men go through things. Some men just never grow or graduate from those situations. So teenage Kevin might be a 42-year-old version of a Ron or Dave or somebody. So it just depends. It might not be it might not be a red flag. He might just need to be reminded that you're not getting what you need from the conversation. He is introverted. Introverts again often think about themselves and what they think. They care about what you think, but they just don't necessarily remember to say, "Hey, and what about you?" and listen intently. So sometimes you just have to interject. His messages are incoherent. If his messages are incoherent and he's not an intellectual and he's always talking about himself, I'm not sure y'all got a whole lot of an opportunity to move forward. I would feel like incoherent speech is one of those, not a red flag, but it's definitely inconvenient to deal with, especially for somebody who likes to hear themselves talk. Um, Let me see. Okay, we got 5 more minutes and I'm gonna get off of here. Love. Good evening. Thank you for this live. My question is similar. How to navigate second date overnight ski trip? Is it too late to cancel, but I don't plan on putting out? You have no business going on an overnight ski trip on a second date. I don't understand. I mean, you can do what you want. I ain't your daddy. I'm just saying. It would seem to be a lot. Overnight ski trip on a second date. I mean, I know dating men that can just take you on trips is exciting, but there's a certain messaging that is happening on the subconscious level when the man can get you to say yes to a ski trip, even if you go and sleep in the same bed with him and say, I'm not putting out. Every woman says she's not going to put out, but all he has to do is make the day perfect. And most women will try to make a perfect date spectacular by adding the perfect sex to the end of it, or trying to make sure that he's had the perfect night. And, so it's just, that's a little funny for me. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't suggest my clients go on a second overnight dates. That's just not my thing. But I'm just some guy from the internet. A lot of people are liberal. Do your thing how you want it. Um, but for me, it's just not really one. It's been 3 years. You've known him for 3 years. I guess knowing someone for 3 years, you can do your thing. But if he was a stranger, I would never suggest you going overnight with a stranger or newly acquired acquaintanceship. Not had sex for 3 years. You haven't had sex, or he hasn't had sex. So if you haven't had sex for 3 years, that still doesn't matter to me. If you've known him for 3 years, great. Um, Spoke 6 months, met once, not twice. No, I don't think a overnight trip is second date, second meetup, second hangout material. Me personally. Um, she said he is consistent in conversation, but he hasn't asked anything personal about my goals in terms of relationships. Maybe he's just trying to develop a friendship first. Yeah, everybody's like different. Conversationally, some people are just more aware, more present. Some people are more intellectually advanced. Other people just don't have the skill set that other people have. So I wouldn't. If you want to talk about something more, just propose the conversation or bring it up or interject with your idea. Don't just wait for him to think of the perfect things to talk about and then go unstimulated in the conversation. Let me see. I know I missed a bunch of comments and questions up here. Mm, Somebody said, "Love you, Kev. Keep helping people." I'll do my best, but integrity based dating content is It just falls. It just falls through the cracks, man. It's not viral. I'm not a viral kind like this shit ain't gonna be viral. Helping people from a genuine place. It's not gonna be viral. So I will draw. I will ultimately probably tire out at some point. Um, that's why I'm just doing lives and I'm not really doing a lot of content. I'm about to start doing a bunch of TikTok content. I got 20 videos ready to go on TikTok. So if y'all want to follow me on TikTok because I'm about to start blowing TikTok up with about some 2-minute videos. But YouTube is just not the most rewarding platform to be on. And thank you for the super chat, Sunny Rain. I appreciate you. Um, Very few people come with things in hand, so anytime somebody do something like that, I appreciate it. Um, Even though YouTube, oof, they take their little cut. Hey Kev, off the top of your head, what are some signs that two people are compatible versus them not being compatible? Good to see you, by the way. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sunny Rain. Two signs that people are compatible versus them not being compatible. Two signs that people are compatible. The first of which is I believe that two people who are compatible want the same thing. Not just talking about someone or a type of partnership. They want the same style and same structure of partnership, right? You have to have an intention to love. I talk about this all the time in my videos. If there's no intent to love, there's no point in dating, right? So two people are compatible. If I want a girlfriend that ultimately grows into a wife, you want a boyfriend or man who ultimately grows into your husband. And if we're coming together with the goal in mind of finding a forever type of partnership, a forever type of love, something that lasts, and we see that in each other, that intention makes us partly compatible. The second thing that makes a person compatible is the sense of safety that you can bring to one another. Two people can want the same thing but be terrified of one another and be guarding themselves from each other, and that's why most situationships don't become relationships. Both people are trying not to get played, trying not to get hurt, trying not to get lied to, trying not to be getting played for a fool. And I get that, I understand it, but it causes both people to repel each other. If I see you protecting yourself from me, not trusting me, pulling away, not answering the phone all the time, trying not to be too available, doing all of these different tactics that some of these guys teach to make a person chase you, that still away from that sense of safety and security in a relationship. If I don't feel safe desiring you and pursuing you, and you don't feel safe desiring me and pursuing me, we're going to protect ourselves from each other until we start to offend each other, and until we start to create damage from one another, and then we can start getting mad. That's why people be breaking up, having arguments, having conflicts, because both of them are untrusting and they both feel like the other one is going to potentially hurt them, or we don't know who likes who more. So both of us are muting what we want to give to a relationship. That's the thing that makes you very incompatible. So having the same intention, and then being able to be vulnerable enough to put down your sense of resistance toward the phases of a relationship growing, and being able to dive in head first to whatever those phases are, not blindly, not with rose-colored glasses, but just fully and completely committing to the process of getting to know somebody, knowing that they have flaws, they're not perfect, they have some inadequacies, and accepting that instead of trying to figure out why you shouldn't be, or why you shouldn't talk to them, or why you shouldn't like them, or if they're safe, or if they're trying to play you. This We're too defensive. Social media has made us very defensive in pursuing relationships with one another, to I mean, as a sex, that we don't trust the other sex and we have to deal with them because we all want partnership, because it's a basic human need. Partnership, love, security, romance, those are basic human needs. And so as much as social media tells you you don't need a man, you do. Much as the incels say they don't need women, they do. Right. And so again, compatible intentions, and the willingness to be vulnerable and to open yourself up to the discomfort and the lack of safety in pursuing a relationship with someone. So those are the two things. I hope that answered your question. I guess since it's already 9:27, I'll go to 9:30. Y'all live in here tonight. Y'all lit. And thank you for the super chat again. Somebody asked today about why I don't say tell you guys about Cash App, because YouTube takes a cut of my super chats, and first of all, I don't get a whole lot of super chats anyway. But um, uh, YouTube does take a pretty good percentage of the super chat. So if anybody wants a super chat, but they want me to get it all, $ KEVHICK. $Kev Hick is probably a better methodology than super chat, but I appreciate whatever a person might offer. Let me see. Uh, Let me see. I got 2 minutes, y'all. What's your TikTok? Mm, Kev_Hick. Kev_Hick. There's a fake Kev Hick out there. My Kev Hick page has like 6,717 followers or something like that. It's 67 something. So you'll know it's my page because it has 6,700 followers. And I've been posting this week or last week. Um, I posted maybe 5 or 6 videos over the last week and a half. Maybe no, maybe 3 or 4 videos. 4 or 5 videos over the last week and a half. It's a fake Kev Hick page on there, but it doesn't hardly have any content outside of the stuff they stole like a year and a half ago when they put the videos up. But they realize I'm not a viral sensation, so they stop stealing my shit and probably start stealing somebody else's. I'm not controversial enough to be viral, unfortunately, or fortunately. But yeah, Kev at Kev_Hick, I believe. I don't think there's a 24 associated with it. I've met over 70 men most like to be chased. Several men suggested that I didn't want a relationship uh, as I had not been calling them, and I hung up the phone. That means you're dealing exclusively with men with options, because most men don't expect to be chased who don't have options or who are very average in what they are. Heather E says, "Do you have time for my question?" My Insta is at kevhick24. My Insta is at kevhick24. My Cash App is at KEVHICK at Kev Hick, and my TikTok is at Kev_Hick. No S. I'm not Kev Hicks. I'm Kev Hick. Do you have time for my question? Yes. Ask your question, Heather, and you'll be the last question I get to today. If you didn't get your question asked or answered today, either go on Instagram and write me on Instagram, or go to kevhick.com and book a call or get email advice. And while I'm talking about it, while I'm waiting for Heather's question, um, it's up top. Copy and paste it and bring it back to the bottom. Um, I'll look for it, but copy and paste it, Heather, and bring it back to the bottom so I can see it. And while I'm at it, if you are dating and you are looking for a different experience, you need a little bit more guidance, but you don't want to necessarily book a call, you can't afford coaching, I would strongly consider, if I was you guys, getting my Date Smarter Not Harder workbook, dating tracker and journal. It's basically a workbook for singles as they date. You can apply a lot of the concepts I talk about. There's some teaching in the beginning of it that teaches you how to apply that stuff to what you're writing down about these guys, and you can evaluate each guy yourself without needing a dating coach like myself to help you if you don't want to pay, or if you can't pay, or if you can afford it. They start at $15. And I think they go up to like 22 or 24, depending on if you want a hardback, softcover, or coil bound on Amazon or on my website. So I would really suggest most of you singles probably go book that. You can get that at kevhick.com, or like I said, on Amazon. If you just put Kev Hick, my book comes up, or my dating journal and tracker comes up. Um, Heather, I'm still not seeing your question. Let me look for. Yeah, so I know people always talk about, well, you should write a book. People just read books and they don't apply the shit, and then they go off doing the same crap that they always do. I like workbooks because workbooks require some level of commitment to your own goal. You don't just get to read a book and read a workbook and feel smart. You actually have to do something. I'm about practical, applicable advice. I can tell you a bunch of shit and you can see how smart I am, but it won't change your life. I want you to change your life through action, and it takes action and direction to do that. And so my books, I feel like I've come to a place where I want my books to include a lot of work. And so anything that I release will have some work and some commitment necessary for the reader. It's not just sit down, read, feel good, feel smarter because you read some wise words from Kev Hick. I'm just not interested in that. And there's enough books telling you how to be smart. There's not enough books coaching you through the actions. And so I want to make sure that I'm giving that. Heather, hey, Kev, I am pretty and I want to see if, and I think this is the question you're referring to, Heather. She said, I am pretty if you might have been like, pretty sure if I want to see the guy I'm talking to, check one of his stupid friends, or is he doing the right thing by not embarrassing him? His friend tries to exclude me from the group outings. Rephrase that because I'm trying to figure out. His friend tries to, yeah, his friend tries to make me feel like I'm not welcome. Um, why does his friend get to decide who's welcome? Why is his friend, is he a follower and his friend is the leader? Is his friend scheduling? Who, how is it getting back to you that you're not welcome in the friend group? That doesn't make any sense. Um, if I think if you're not dealing with a man who has enough respect from his friends that they respect the woman he chooses, that's a problem. If a man is allowing his friend group or his friend to disrespect you, first of all, what type of friend is doing that? What type of man is allowing his friend to disrespect him on a personal level? And then what type of man is allowing his friend to make his woman feel uncomfortable when a man's first duty is to provide a woman a sense of security and a sense of safety emotionally and physically? Right. So I wouldn't let somebody disturb my wife's sense of safety or sense of social safety or security. Like in no capacity can a man make my woman feel uncomfortable. Um, like not we're not gonna have conflict. I love my friends, but my friends love me enough not to create conflict in my household or in my relationship. Right. Um, I just I don't understand how that there's some lenient there's leniency is weird. I've not seen this. See, I'm the type of person who people if I talk, people listen. Not because I'm dominating the room, just because people respect me and they don't know that I'm not just gonna be I'm not just flabbergasting and running my mouth and flapping my gums, and I have respect. People respect my decisions, they respect my thoughts, they respect my processes, they respect me as a man. Physically, I get my respect. Most men have a sense of self-respect. So what I'm a little confused at is how his man is just deciding who gets respect and doling it out based on what he wants, and you're not getting resistance from your man, and you're kind of trying to figure out how to solve the problem. That's problematic. Um, you might not be dealing with the man that you think you're dealing with or that you hope you're dealing with. And while every man doesn't have to be the alpha, if you believe in that concept, or the leader, uh, everybody in the group deserves respect if they're self-respecting. And I just think you have some issues in masculinity there. If his man ain't giving him what he would give anybody else on the street. So I'm hoping I'm being clear, but there's no way that you should be having a problem like his friend disrespecting you or trying to push you out or making you feel uncomfortable and it not being a problem for him first. It shouldn't even get to you. And Big J says, "You cute, ma." So there you go. Big J, big guy, good guy. I'm sure Big J's friends ain't gonna do him like your man's friends are doing him. Love and respect. Thanks for holding me down, Big J, as usual. I'm gonna get off of here. I will be back on tomorrow, though. I always say that, but it'd be like Sunday. I think the other time it was my son's birthday, so I forgot. Um, but tomorrow I should be back on. So love and respect, you guys. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Petty, yeah, petty, petty, not pretty. I got that, Jane Doe. Um, yep, no complaints. But anyway, like I said, I'm about to do my thing. Y'all do y'all's. I see y'all. Wait, hold on, wait. Somebody said when to f him. Jane Doe. I'm gonna show that comment. When to f the gentleman. Um, interesting enough, I've actually answered that question on a few videos. If you look for when to sleep with a guy or something like that, I've done that question specifically actually. So you should probably look through my videos, you'll find the answers to that question. Anyway, now I'm good. Hope y'all good. I appreciate the super chats, appreciate the love, appreciate the questions. If you didn't get your question answered, come back tomorrow and answer the question there. Just hit the like button on your way in,